I have a pretty strong opinion on drum libraries. I think people nowadays are scared to do their own processing, and so they're quick to default to something like Superior Drummer or Addictive Drummer. I think that's a mistake. I think that older libraries that leave the processing up to the user are much better in terms of the things that you can do with them and the customization. For example, this is Larry Sayer acoustic drums. I don't have the full version anymore because it came out when I was born in 2007. So can't really buy it anymore. As well as that, it's using Gigasampler, which is a dead format, and it's very tumultuous. If I open this, it's very likely to crash. But that still doesn't stop the samples from being high quality. You can assign all of them individual outs very easily from the you can assign individual instruments different outs very easily from the sampler, which is something that even Contact itself needs to work on because it's too many steps to do that for something that should be very simple. You can change a lot of things here easily, like the fine tune and the coarse tune, which you can move in this editor all at once instead of Contact. We have to scroll past all of their UIs. You have effects here where you can edit the room sound here. I've personally turned it off because I mixed in my own room, but that's something you could do. You can edit the samples if you need to, although honestly, I don't actually suggest doing this in this editor. So if I want to, I can have all of the drum samples out on these different channels and I can process them differently, which is something you can do with Superior Drummer and Addictive Drummer, but they're already processed at a level to where, in my opinion, they're pretty unusable. Their snares sound dead. They don't have many ringy snares. They're all tuned really low. They're all pretty big and metal and beefy, even for some of the libraries like jazz libraries. I don't think there's anyone in the history of time who wants a jazz library where the samples are dead and the rim shots are indistinguishable from the normal center hits. It's honestly, they're just pretty awful. The problem with Superior Drummer is that no matter which ones you choose, they all sound the same. I could use one of their fusion or gospel libraries and mix it into a metal track, and you wouldn't be able to tell. Something like this, though, this kit is unabashedly meant for jazz. Like something I can do is, if I want to, I can take out a bit of mids from the snare, which I've done. Only thing I really needed to do in terms of overall processing, I made it a bit less stereo because for the content of the song I'm about to play, it doesn't make much sense. I added a compressor to just level out the volume, and then I added reverb as a room tone. That's it. That's all I'm doing. The samples sound good, unprocessed. Tune track, so you don't have to use their awful multi-band and compressed EQ, stereo, widen, reverb, whatever presets in order to get something that sounds good. You load up the dry kit, you do like some tiny changes to panning or to tuning, and that's it. You got what you need. And in the context of the song, this is what the drum kit sounds like. Closing notes. It is worth mentioning that although the full library isn't really accessible anymore, what you can do is you can use GVI, which is the player I'm using here. As well as that, you can get the Gigasampler 3 factory library on archive.org. It's completely free. It is kind of large, but it includes a lot of stuff, which maybe I'll go over it in a later video if people ask me for this. But yeah, that's the best drum library in my opinion that exists.